Hello and welcome to this in-depth discussion. Today, we're going to talk about a potentially surprising perspective. The strong cravings we have for certain foods, and even that uncontrollable gluttony, share patterns strikingly similar to drug addiction. Our references for this discussion come from a deep conversation about habits, attachments, and holistic well-being. Our task is to explore how these daily acts can transform from simple culinary desires into potentially health-damaging dietary pitfalls. Let's delve deeper. The material mentions a rather alarming comparison, stating that the psychological mechanism of gluttony is much like drug addiction. Even when we know that eating certain foods is bad for our health and could have severe consequences, like the material says, drug addiction can lead to financial ruin we just can't stop because of that fleeting sense of pleasure. Why is this? The key, according to the material, lies in habit formation. They use an interesting analogy: raising a mad dog. This means that the more you indulge that craving, the more you respect, obey, and feed it, the stronger this habit or drive becomes. The next time, it'll be even harder to resist. This is essentially the core of the addiction model. Short-term pleasure drives you to repeatedly engage in harmful behavior, ultimately harming yourself. Gluttony, fundamentally, follows this same pattern. The impact of picky eating, from preference to health hazard. So, does this uncontrollable preference for specific foods directly lead to picky eating? It sounds like it's more than just being a picky eater. The impact is significant. The material clearly states that picky eating can cause two extreme health problems. The first is nutritional excess. This happens when you love certain foods so much that you keep eating them, leading to an imbalance of certain nutrients in your body. Over time, this accumulation results in illness. The material directly points out that many modern diseases of affluence, like diabetes and cardiovascular diseases, are often self-inflicted, built one bite at a time. The other extreme is nutritional deficiency. This occurs when you stubbornly refuse to eat certain things. Some people are like this, and as a result, their bodies consistently lack essential nutrients. In the long run, severe deficiencies can lead to organ dysfunction. The material even uses the term premature death, meaning not dying naturally of old age, but rather an early demise due to extreme nutritional imbalance. Both extremes sound terrifying. This makes me think about why people in the past seem to have fewer problems eating rice and noodles, while people today, eating similar things, seem to get sick more easily. What's going on? Why modern diets differ from the past? The material analyzes several reasons. Firstly, food in the past was relatively simpler, with less pollution, and its nutritional value was more complete. For example, whole grains like brown rice and whole wheat have an outer layer of bran and germ, which the material calls the fetal coat, containing all the nutrients needed for the seed to sprout, making them very rich. However, modern food processing, to enhance taste or extend shelf life, often removes these most nutritious parts, like the bran and germ, leaving only refined starches. While these refined starches are also carbohydrates, consuming too much can cause blood sugar to spike quickly and then drop rapidly. Over the long term, this puts a burden on the body's metabolism. Furthermore, issues like genetic modification mean that the very structure of food is different from before. Ironically, when resources were less abundant in the past, people might have foraged for wild vegetables and various foods, leading to a more diverse diet. Unbeknownst to them, their nutrition was actually more balanced. So, listening to all this, the eating habits we have, whether it's a particular fondness for certain foods or a firm refusal to eat others, these seemingly small preferences can accumulate into a significant impact. The material even directly states that many cases of illness and premature death due to long-term improper eating are results we ourselves have created, step by step. This reminds us that we really need to pay attention to what and how we eat, to have that awareness. The unseen addiction of our daily habits. Today's discussion truly highlights the immense impact of this attachment to food and picky eating. It's not only similar to addictive behavior, but also directly leads to nutritional imbalances, triggering various chronic diseases, and even affecting lifespan. Many daily habits we consider insignificant, if left unexamined and unadjusted, can have profound long-term effects. This applies not just to eating, but to many other aspects of life as well. Developing self-awareness regarding our habits is truly crucial. Finally, I'll leave you with a question to ponder. Since the material mentions that many health problems and even premature deaths caused by improper eating are self-inflicted, are there any other seemingly small habits or minor attachments in our lives besides diet that might also be subtly and profoundly influencing our health and the trajectory of our future? This question is perhaps worth deep consideration for each of us. That concludes this discussion. See you next time.